Okay, so this is going to be the first coaching video of the new expansion. If you want to participate in the free coaching, link in the description below. Just put an unlisted YouTube video of the games you want me to watch. Just do a screen capture or anything. No editing required, no volume required even. But overall, mulligans, I would keep exactly the same thing. The 3 mana 2/2 you can keep. I don't like keeping it when I'm going second because if I find Helia on turn 3, I would rather coin that as my turn 3 play. Just personal preference though. Also, your mulligan, being able to draw an extra card off of that, like it cancels out the extra draw from the Chill Fallen Baron. Personal preference. But yeah, link in the description. You can put an unlisted video out there and you can get your own just free coaching on a deck that you want. Turn 2, I'd play Voldir. They could be going Highlander, we don't know yet. Putting Plagues into the deck is the best way to play around Highlander. Next turn I would probably play another Distressed Voldir. I'm also going to increase the speed of this a little bit so we can get through the game a little bit faster, just to speed up the process. Next turn I would play the Voldir here. I don't think playing the Pile of Bones is necessarily correct. Voldir is better because it gets the Highlander offline sooner rather than later. But because they have an Excavate card in their hand, they're probably going to play Pile of Bones and the Distressed Voldir on turn 4, which is fine. Like, they play the Voldir 1 turn later. It's not actually that big of a deal. I don't mind it at all. It's just a slight difference in how I would have played it. The 3/2 is just slightly more threatening on the board against a Druid where you want to apply pressure. But this turn, it's going to be this plus coin Pile of Bones or Hero Power. Okay, let's talk about this while they're taking their turn. Yes, playing the 1 or hero powering and killing off the 2/1 seems like better immediate value, but you have to plan ahead. What do I want to do going into the next turn? And next turn, turn 5, I want to play the Burrow Buster or whatever his name is. I don't know the card names yet exactly. And since I know I probably want to play this on turn 5, I should play the Pile of Bones instead of hero powering because I'm able to get extra value. And the 2/1's able to trade into his minions next turn anyway. Since it's a Druid, they'll probably trade into you. And if they go face, it doesn't really matter. Playing Nerubian Vizier is fine here. Plague Strike's perfect. They press the hide button, it looks like. Okay, that's actually a good habit to get into if you're watching this. Even if you think an option is good, even if they already knew they wanted to take the Plague Strike, pressing the hide button to look at the state of the board is a very, very, very good habit to get into, and I'm very happy that they did that. And then they play Astalor, ping off a minion, and hit face. I still would have played the Burrow card and resummoned a 2/1. It would have been better if they had played another Pile of Bones earlier, but I don't hate the play that they made. I think that, again, there have been a couple of options so far where they've made the second best play, which is not bad. The second best play in certain situations, depending on what they play, could still be fine. Here, okay, you want to play that? Yes. You want to wipe the board, coin out hero power to kill an extra minion? Okay, perfect. Okay, so they do use the coin. They don't hold on to it for next game like I do sometimes, and they're going to full trade, which I think is a great, well, not a great spot to be in, but they actually dealt with the board a lot better than I thought they were going to. All right. I'm hoping that they're willing to hit this 4/1 with their weapon, by the way. I'm hoping that they're willing to do that, because against a Druid, you're not going to lose. You're not going to lose to, like, aggro most of the time. Maybe in this particular build, maybe. This is in gold, by the way, so I don't 100% know exactly the meta. But I would assume that against a Druid, they're going to get a ton of value out of dragons, so I don't really care about my HP. I'm going to use it as a resource to try to get board pressure, to try to apply pressure to my opponent. Okay, so this turn, boom. I would still play another Pile of Bones here, rather than here. Okay. Again, okay, in this case, I would have used the 2/2 to kill this 2/2, and then hero powered, or not hero powered, but hit their 4/1 with the weapon. But I would have played another Pile of Bones and killed off this with my face. Because you have another Pile of Bones, you have another Excavate card in your hand right now as we speak, so you'd be able to resummon them again immediately anyway. And again, I think that the issue with this player, based on this one game, is they're fairly short-sighted in their plays. I'd play the Vizier here because it's cheaper, or Kobold Miner to generate some resources. But they're not thinking long-term. And I think this is something I've seen a lot of other players do. I don't like Magatha. Yeah, drawing 5 cards seems good, but you're committing a lot of mana. Whereas if you had played the Nerubian Vizier first, you'd still have 5 mana left over. So if you discovered a really cool spell, I don't know exactly what, but you could play it. Whereas Magatha, it just feels like you're committing a lot of resources just to play the Vizier anyway. It feels a little bit weird to me. I'd take Blood Boil, maybe Icy Touch. It could potentially deal with something. It's hit or miss. But yeah, a thing that I see a lot of players make, especially at lower ranks, is they make a play that they think is good in the moment. And it is good in that moment, but it's not the better play long term, right? I'm trying to think of, I don't play chess that much. I was gonna try to make a chess analogy, and like you take a piece because you're like, oh, I'll take this pawn with my rook, right? Just to like have your rook get taken by a knight. Like, yeah, you got the pawn and you had that like initial kind of better play. You got that in like slight plus, but then your better piece was taken immediately after because you didn't like plan ahead. Whereas maybe you could have set up a fork or something. Maybe I'm getting too into chess. I'm not very good at chess. I could be saying all the wrong stuff anyway, but they could have had a little bit of planning to protect their play and get more value later on. Also, can we just talk about the fact that they just played double Sea Giant? Like, what? That's crazy that they played double Sea Giant there. That's nuts. But yeah, it looks like they're playing Blood Boil, which I think is 100% correct. Now, what would I do for this next turn? I would probably, if I were them, play Helia into a Chained Guardian. Oh no, you have to Hero Power to kill this. Okay, I'd hit the 5/5 here, Hero Power hit 2/6, 2/4 goes here. Then you play the Chained Guardian for 4 and kill off both of the 8/8s. I would love to play Helia, and I'm really hoping they don't play Helia here because they think Helia is insane value. Right now, this is an instance where you do need to make a kind of slightly suboptimal trade to stay alive. I don't want to bring up chess again, but sometimes you gotta like, even if a play isn't great, you might have to sacrifice a piece to protect your king in a checkmate situation, you know? In this situation, I think that they made the correct play here. They didn't play Helia, they didn't play greedy and play into a bad situation. I really do appreciate the fact that they made that play. Again, maybe I should get more into chess. I've always been interested in it. I'm getting off topic here, but I think it could be like cool analogies can be made. But now I think you're in a, oh, geez Louise. Oh, you're in an amazing spot. Oh my goodness. So you just, okay, so this next turn is easy. Okay, you could play Helia first, or you could play the Plague or the Tomb Trader, it doesn't matter, and then I would play Pile of Bones. Just to get ready. I would rather keep the Chained Guardian to maybe kill off something big. For example, this, and I would like to have the Rush for 1 mana on that next turn. I think it's very, very good. You could Excavate for, oh no, wait, no, that's very solid. You eat that. Now I think you took that turn a little bit quick. I don't think it matters too much. Plague Strike their face, I think that's correct. And then I still wouldn't play the Chained Guardian because I don't know what they're gonna play. They can't play Reno anymore because you put a ton of plagues into their deck, so maybe you could have run the Chained Guardian. I don't know exactly what this person's running, to be fair. But yeah, it looks like you won that game. I think you also would have been good on that turn if you hadn't played Primus, if you had played like a Skeleton Crew to Excavate again, kill off some minions, and play the Plague Strike. I don't think it really would have mattered, but Primus was definitely okay. Primus was definitely good. Okay, so against another Death Knight, I would keep Staff, I would keep Kobold Miner, I wouldn't keep Chained Guardian, it's way too slow. You're gonna get rid of the Kobold Miner. How do I feel about this? Yeah, again, it's maybe okay because like the Pile of Bones, you wanna have extra Excavates in your hand. And maybe you wanna try to find Helia. You know what, I don't hate it. I think the Kobold Miner is fine to keep if you want to. But depending on your play style, I think it could differ a little bit. Like if you feel more comfortable trying to play around plagues as your win condition, then go ahead and play plagues. 100% go ahead and try to play around plagues, try to find Helia and whatnot, and maybe some extra card draw. I don't think that it's even that bad of a play. But in a vacuum, I think that keeping the Kobold Miner is better because it just gives you a more reliable turn 2. I would rather have played a Kobold Miner than Hero Power there. This next turn, I would probably, yeah, okay, I don't mind that. I don't mind it. I would have maybe killed off the 3/4 with the down with the ship plus hitting with your weapon. But you don't need to. You can hero power kill this and then play that. Or, no, okay, top decking the Ruby and Vizier is great. I would probably take down with the ship because of Plagues. But there's an argument to be made with Corpse Explosion here, because they're clearly going a very aggressive deck. They ran a triple Unholy card, which means they are pretty much entirely board-based, which means a Corpse Explosion to wipe a really big board is good. And this is another one of those short-sighted misplays, right? They make a play that in the moment seems good. They get that down with the ship, and they can kill off one minion. But Corpse Explosion, after this 2/4 dies, you can also hero power and kill off another minion, so you can have up to 4 corpses. Yeah, you'd be able to kill off a much, much, much bigger board. You could also kill the board with like a Tomb Trader here, which I guess is fine. But I think Corpse Explosion, given the matchup, would have been better. I would play Tomb Trader here because this is a very scary spot to be in. They could play Grave Strength at some point and do 4, 6, 7, or 4, 6. Plus, that's 12, 13 damage. Turn 6, if they have hero power too, they could kill you. It all depends on how you trade here as well. Getting the healing and drawing a card is good though. I will give you that. But Tomb Trader trading, I think, would have been a little bit safer in case of the Grave Strength. But you don't have to. It's not a necessity. So going into this next turn, I would probably heal first to draw a card. Well, let's think about this. You do get a good Chained Guardian. There's a world where you could go down with the ship, and then you could play the Chained Guardian for free. They're gonna go Tomb Trader now, after they've already wiped a decent amount of the cards on their board, with a couple of other things that I think were suboptimal. So you could have done this the turn before, I think, and been in a better spot and used up less resources. I don't think it's a huge deal, but I do think that it's a slight misplay again, where they could have used the Plague Strike for more value on a previous turn, if I remember correctly. So this turn, I mean, it could be down, down, Reap plus Chained Guardian, and you can kill literally everything, go face, and have an 8/5 rush. That would be what I would do, because at this point, they only have 2 cards left in their hand. Marrogar comes down in 2 turns, and I want to try to commit as much as I can to the board. I think healing and drawing a card here is not bad, but not great either. Okay, no, look, okay, you're not going to use your mana efficiently. So I know what they want to do. I know what they're thinking. I don't want to put Plagues into their deck because I want Hellia to make them infinite. I'm in their head right now. It's why they've held on to the down with the ship for as long as they have. But when you can use down with the ship and kill off all their boards and play an 8/5 Reborn minion for free, it's just so useful. Like, this is fine. I wouldn't say that it's bad. Oh, you get another one of those for free? Okay, that's kind of nuts. Okay, that was kind of an insane draw. That was kind of an insane discover. It does kind of make up for it. If this is their only play, this tells me they have Marrogar in their hand, and you're gonna be you should be very scared. I would play, again, they're hero powering instead of playing their Plagues, and I'm in their head. I know they want to play Hellia. I know that's what they're holding it on for. There's Marrogar, definitely a problem. You do probably want to play the Chained Guardian here. Having the Chained Guardian earlier means you would have done at least 8 more damage. They would have had to trade in, and you'd have a couple more removal spells for this point. I do think this is a good response, though. This is a great response to Marrogar. Why didn't they rush in and kill this? It's a little bit weird. But having that Reborn Taunt Minion is a great response to Marrogar. So I would probably go... You can actually wipe the board here and do a lot. So you can go down with the ship to kill off both of these. 2/1 goes here, Chained Guardian, kill this, kill that, because it'll do 8 and then 8. Play Skeleton Crew, get your final Excavate for free, play that, resummon another Chained Guardian, and then kill Marrogar. You can full wipe the board here. You just have to, I mean, you don't have to play the down with the ships either. There's a world where you don't, whoa, wait. Have you played an expensive, what expensive card have you played yet? Whoa, play the Chained Guardian first. Play the Chained Guardian. I mean, that's fine. But the Chained Guardian would have just healed you up more. No? Okay, it does, They also could have traded with their 2/1 first to have it res with the, with the Excavate. Okay, that's slightly suboptimal. Not even just slightly, that's actually quite suboptimal. Yeah, they could have full wiped the board, had an extra minion out there. I think that turn was fine. It's really hard to make all those decisions all at once. It really comes down to the fact that I have just more experience with the game than them. And hopefully the play I said before made sense. They would have been able to kill off the board. They'd have at least one extra 2/1 on the board. And maybe one other minion. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure, but they'd have at least the 2/1 left on the board for sure. Excavate's fine. They get an extra 2/1. I like that. I would probably just take the armor. Okay, no, that's fine. I would kill that off because you have to. And then I would play the Distressed Voldeer. I wouldn't play the... Well, you could play that too, I guess. It's fine. Honestly, flooding the board's fine. I would have liked to have had the plated beetle because the armor, I think, is a little bit more value than the taunt if they don't have any minions out on the board. They weren't really able to do anything there anyway. But yeah, overall, I think they played these last two games fine. I think so far, again, the main mistakes have just been not planning far enough ahead and also just like a lack of experience in the game, right? Like sometimes it's just gonna be hard to be able to make all those quick plays, but hopefully after watching a video, like if they watch this video of their own gameplay of me coaching them and they're like, oh, you're right, I could have traded the 2/1 first, like order there. Right, like that's just an inexperienced mistake with playing the order incorrectly. I could have traded the 2/1 first, then played Excavate in order to resummon it, so I would have gotten a little bit more value. Actually, what did they mulligan here? I missed it. Tomb Trader, yes. Kobold Miners. I mean, I would like to keep a Kobold Miner, but it comes down to your own personal preference. If you're more comfortable, like I said, going for the Plague Wind condition and you want a mulligan for that and Excavate wants to be your backup, I'm totally fine with that. I don't know exactly what's going on in your head when you do those mulligans, so it's fine either way. Hero Power, kill off the 1/1. You want to make sure they can't draw cards. This is perfectly fine. Turn 3 is most likely Chill Fallen Baron. I don't think that excavating here really does anything. I mean, I don't really feel the need to kill a 1/3. You get to draw an extra card, perfect. Okay, double trade's not optimal. I do like seeing the Voldeer though, because basically playing this means that the Tomb Trader will be online. Okay, yikes. So I would do that, Hero Power, kill the 4/1. I wanted to see if there was a way where you could kill the 5/2 as well, but it looks like you're just gonna take a lot of damage, but that's okay. I'm fine with it. Sure. Sure, okay. Okay. Discovering, so here it's really scary because they have this 5/2 out there. I would like to kill it, but it could also be the Cat Trick Secret. We'll see what you discover first. It's not bad. Frozen Over isn't terrible, actually. You're not going to overdraw, which is fine. And here, I would play the Kobold Miner. Like, yeah, Hidden Meaning could exist, but, like, I would rather play Kobold Miner, let them summon an extra minion, take more damage now, and then play Tomb Trader the next turn. It's Wandering Monster. That I did not expect. Interesting. But again, it just seems like it was a lack of, like, planning ahead, right? Like, I don't know, they could have spent all their mana. Like, I didn't know it was Wandering Monster. The fact that it was Wandering Monster played out, but I think it's more likely that it's Hidden Meaning, and I would rather than summon a minion and then kill it with Tomb Trader the following turn. Interesting. I would have killed off the Treant with the 2/4. Again, an inexperienced thing. They probably didn't read the Death Rattle, but they should have taken their time to see that, and they could have killed off the 2/2. But yeah, just like a slight inexperienced thing, I would say. They didn't plan around that. At this point, what would I do? They're taking their turns a little bit fast because they made some editing here. I mean, you could kill off both with Reap twice if you wanted, or you could go Reap once and then you can go the Skeleton Dude to get a free card. That's fine, and then you can go reap and kill that off. I agree with that. I would hold on to the weapon charge. Oh, I like holding on to the last charge of a weapon a lot of the time, just in case they play something or a divine shield minion I'm gonna have to try to get rid of. Oh, goodness gracious, that is not good. Oh, but you have the canary. That's huge. That's massive. Okay, I love the pit boss. I love drawing a card here. You could have also excavated. But I guess if you want to wait for the 2-1 to die, that's fine. That's also good. Reno comes down, poofs away your stuff. It's a little unfortunate, but... Wait! Because they played the plagues. I'm an idiot. I should have already known that. I just didn't realize how many plagues they shuffled into their deck. But the Voldir plus the weapon... I thought that because of the Tomb Trader, the synergy had gone away. But no, actually, I think that almost just wins you the game, pretty much. If I were you... Excavate, and then excavate again, just to have the mega upgraded one at 0 mana. Now you're just in a pretty good spot, I would say. I would want the Chained Guardian to, oh my goodness. I would want the Chained Guardian, excuse me, to die here. So I would hit the 6/6 with my 1/1. Perfect. Then play a Chained Guardian. Look, okay, so there's a lot of different things you can do here. You can also play Reska. No, Reska's good because the Death Rattle, because of how Death Rattles trigger. Their Death Rattle triggers first, and then you can steal a minion they summon. So it could be really, really good. Down with the Ship, I think, is probably best here of the options. Okay, they summon, then you play Reska. That's probably not that bad. All right, Reska, I would hit the 3/4, steal Rag, and go face. Yeah, explosive trap's a bit of a problem. You couldn't really play around that though. I guess technically you could have played Reska after hitting face, and then Ragnaros would have more than 6 HP, but it's not that big of a deal. I'd play Pile of Bones, and then Excavate again is fine. Get 2 coins, not that big of a deal. Overall, yeah, I think they played fairly well. I'm not disappointed with it. They played it all. I would play the rat here, I think. Not the rat. Well, no, it is the rat. Deal 3 to their face is fine. These all go face. Did they have lethal there? Hold on. Did they have lethal? Why are you playing this without getting any value? Like, that's... I mean, okay, yeah, sure, you get the kill with Ragnaros. Never mind, I forgot you had Rag. That was a little bit, I mean, I thought that maybe they just weren't thinking about it because they made a couple of other quick plays. But yeah, overall, I actually think that this player played moderately well. I don't think they made a lot of glaring misplays. The 1 or 2 misplays that were like bad that they did do just came down to inexperience, right? Not really being comfortable playing a ton of cards in one turn. That's something that'll just come with time. I do not blame them. For I think it was like this turn where they're able to wipe everything. Where was it? It was like this turn or something where they're technically able to wipe everything and heal up a ton. Like that's just hard to plan about. That'll come with experience. A couple of options here in the beginning where they made an okay choice, but they just didn't think far enough ahead. But yeah, overall, I think they played pretty well. I think that you're gold right now. I honestly think that with the way that you're playing, you could probably hit at least diamond. I don't know if legend is necessarily in the cards yet, but I definitely think diamond is for sure there, and just getting a little bit more comfortable with the cards, for sure.